Hey guys, it's me Kevin and I'm back with another AFL video, and this video will be a video regarding the lower leagues, the reserves leagues. So today I'll be making a video on which teams should participate in the 2021 VFL NEAFL merger. For those that don't know what I'm talking about, earlier in the week the AFL announced that the VFL and the struggling NEAFL will merge for 2021 into one competition. This was for a couple of reasons, one of them being due to coronavirus, which has put financial strains on the AFL, its clubs, and the other reserves and standalone clubs. Now, obviously, with the NEAFL, there's a lot of interstate travelling, so the standalone teams would not be able to afford travel anymore. It was already straining their finances already beforehand. The other reason is the standard of the NEAFL, particularly from the standalone teams, was pretty poor. I mean, some of the teams like Redland, Northern Territory, and Sydney University, apparently it said that those clubs were playing at a lower standard than amateur leagues in Victoria. So, and that wasn't good for the reserves players to practice their skills against. So, I mean, Brisbane dominated in 2019. The NEAFL went undefeated. Sydney, GWS and Gold Coast have also done pretty well. So, look, they decided that the four teams should join the VFL. But what does this mean for, the standalone clubs, but also the reserves clubs? Can the AFL clubs afford to run those? Will there be a few new alignments? What is going to happen? This is what I'll be touching in this video. Which teams should participate in the 2021 VFL, NEAFL, whatever they call it, season? So, there are a total of 30 clubs running for spots for this new competition in 2021. These are all AFL reserve sides on the eastern seaboard, plus standalone sides from the VFL and the NEAFL, who had played in the 2019 season, as well as Tasmania, who were originally awarded a license for 2021 to join the VFL. Whether that will still be accepted, we are not sure, but I'll put them in anyway. So there are a total of 30 clubs that could run for positions. You can pretty much cross out the Northern Territory straight off the dot because, well, they folded in 2019 and exited the NEAFL, so I highly doubt that they'll be joining this new competition. Even though it would be good to have a team representing the Northern Territory, but costs of travelling will put this team in a lot of financial stress. The same can be said about basically most NEAFL clubs. I mean, Redland, Sydney University, and Aspley you can cross off straight away because they're pretty rubbish, and let's face it, they're no more than like local league sides. Southport and Canberra are interesting ones. Southport because they've been a NEAFL giant in the last 10 years. But let's face it, even though they're the richest club in Queensland, well, apart from the Lions and Suns, obviously, do they have the money to travel to Victoria every second week? I'm not sure. Look, I have no doubt that if they do go to the QFL, then they'll absolutely dominate that league. But do they have the same capacity to dominate the VFL? Not sure. Canberra is the other one because that represents a nice geographic region, given that it has about 400,000 people, but it won't gain a lot of interest. And Canberra being mediocre in performance-wise in the NEAFL, so yeah, I think you could cross them out as well. So, once you clear all these teams out, which, let's face it, is not unexpected, that's most likely going to happen anyway, then you've got a bunch of Victorian sides, plus the 4 Northern Reserves teams and Tasmania. Now, look, if list sizes were to stay the same, it's most likely that pretty much every team could field a reserve side. It would mean that some clubs like Sandringham, Box Hill, Casey would have to go. But here's the thing, with list sizes likely to be reduced to 40, next year, it is unlikely that many teams will be able to field a standalone reserve sides and pay top-up players, so I don't think they'll be happening. I think alignments are here to stay. So you can basically clear off Hawthorn, St Kilda, and Melbourne, given that they'll be linking up with Box Hill, Sandringham, and KC respectively. This leaves with a bunch of VFL teams and a couple of AFL teams. Look, I don't think Preston are going to be in the VFL in 2021, sadly. I know they split up with Carlton recently. We thought they closed up for good. Now they're launching a comeback bid, but look, I don't think they will be in the VFL in 2021. Lastly, this leaves 19 teams, essentially. After tossing and turning whether any of the VFL clubs should fold, whether another AFL team should go into an alignment, or whether Tassie should be awarded that 2021 licence, I decided to go with Essendon and Coburg aligning. I'll get to that in a minute. Look, I just felt that it's a good opportunity for Tasmania to establish, to put the foundations to establish an AFL side in the near future, which I totally support. I think they should be in the AFL. So I think this license for 2021 is necessary. Look, I was figuring out whether any of the VFL clubs should fold or not. And look, I think the perfect opportunity is probably Essendon and Coburg to align, because Essendon can afford their own team. But I thought that given that they're within a close proximity to Coburg, I thought it's a good opportunity for them to link up. More on Coburg's side, this will benefit Coburg because I don't know if they're actually going to survive on their own, to be honest. So I think they need an alignment. That's why. Essendon can go on their own, but Coburg can't. So I think it might be a good opportunity. And also, Essendon would be able to also afford an alignment. So I think it's a good opportunity. And I think that's the 18-team combination for this new competition. Look, I think the SANFL and WAFL should stay the same. They've got 10 teams each, 3 standalone teams. Among them, I think Fremantle's the only one there with Peel Thunder at the moment, which I think in the current climate just stay that way. Although the other 3 should be able to afford to run their own standalone clubs. So yeah, what I think should happen is the VFL, SANFL, and WAFL should have, or what, not the VFL, whatever they decide to call that league. Each team should play 18 games. So in the WAFL and SANFL, each team plays each other twice. In this other league, each team plays each other once and their rival twice. As for travel, look, I don't think the standalone VFL clubs should travel at all. If anything, one game, but I don't think they should travel. I think teams like the Suns, the Swans, should play them in Melbourne. And then those northern sides play teams like Collingwood and Carlton over in the north. So yeah, that's my opinion on the state leagues. I hope you like this video. Please subscribe. Please give this video a thumbs up. And comment what you think should happen to the VFL and NEAFL down below. And which teams should play in this new reserves competition for 2021. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.